Hi everyone, welcome to WIC channel. My name is Rifat. So it's officially on the way. Underway, I mean the federal election for Canadians. So it's gonna a whole race. All the parties are kind of digging your attention and want to kind of get your vote to be the next party, right? So this video is kind of dedicated into kind of choosing, going through what the conservative, liberals, and NDP platform, because I would say those are the three big parties that are kind of going for it. So I'm going to cover those three. But this article has more in depth of all the other parties, but I'm going to keep it down to those three. I'm going to keep this video short. And also, I'll be covering the areas from fiscal plan to housing to job and economy to supply management, trade, and personal taxes. Those are the areas I would like that I'm going to cover. And after I'll finish off this video, would kind of give you ideas which I would think is the party that has a chance to win, or what could be the potential outcome. Just finish off with that, my opinion, right? So start with the fiscal. The conservative have a plan to 5 years to balance the budget. Liberals have the set up to say they want to reduce the deficit to 9.8 billion, which is from 19.8, and also reduce and forecast a falling debt to GDP. And NDP has the plan is to lower the debt to GDP over the next 10 years. Then now going into housing, the conservative wants to rework the mortgage qualification rules that have been tight, that mostly have been tight with the recent year with the stress tests and all kind of stuff that are kind of been tight for people to buy homes, and reintroduce the 30-year mortgage, insured mortgage. Liberals have think about introducing the federal speculation tax for non-resident, and higher the cap for first home buy incentive that they introduced. They want to increase it because there was a cap, I think, around 400,000. So now they want to increase that, and also introduce the federal tax like what BC and Toronto has done, and also increase the RSP wrap to 35,000, which is now at 25, which is great. NDP wants to create 500,000 affordable housing unit, reintroduce the 30-year and also double the first time home buyer tax credit, and implement also the 15% tax on foreign buyers, and remove the GST on new constructions, and work with the provinces to create public beneficial ownership registration to increase transparency but owners. So it's kind of what these kind of whole sentence saying. They want to stop, like they say, money laundering to people that buying a home and it's just there and it's empty. What's the purpose of that? So they want to work with the local provinces and cities to kind of crack down that. So that's one. Job and economy, we're going back there. The Conservative wants to appoint the Quebec Minister of Canada Economic Development and Political Minister from Quebec. And this is a smart move for Conservative because they always have trouble in Quebec. So I think they're trying to win that section over there, which is very good. Liberals have no plan. So for now, and NDP has established a minimum wage of $15, ban unpaid internship outside the educational programs, replace the troubled Phoenix pay system for federal government. I think they have that I'm not much aware of that system, but they want to replace that. Create a national automotive strategy at all levels of government to pretty much help retain jobs. Restore automotive innovation fund and prioritize made in Canada vehicles, and give export development Canada a stronger mandate. So it's kind of an interesting thing they have put up to NDP to kind of create push Canada. I see they're trying to push Canada high first and plans. That's very interesting to see. So going back up, we are going to go into supply management. If I'm going to do this is supply management. Yeah, sorry. Supply management. So like Shear and NDP, mostly they want to protect supply management, and Liberals, they have been pledging and protecting supply management for a long time. And this is something that they have done because of the trade agreements they've done with the NAFTA and the Europe and the Pacific Rim. So they have pledged 1.75 billion over 8 years to compensate dairy farmers and all the stuff. So that's very important. So yeah, they are pledged to help liberals. So I've done this, and I have also done. Yeah, so now I'm going to personal tax. So yeah, just I'm gonna making sure I'm on track, right? So Conservative wants to reintroduce the 15% tax credit for public transport, which is great. So that's kind of interesting to see. That's kind of a good initiative to bring back because a lot of people use public transportation, and especially in the Greater Toronto area, it's really expensive. So it's good to have that back in. Remove federal income tax from employment insurance, maternity and paternity, eliminate GST from home, and also establish one tax because in Quebec we have two taxes but I mean it's not two taxes, it's still one, but it's separated into two. So having one tax will be simplified for all people and made a better understanding. Liberals they want to go back onto the stock options that they kind of talked about initially, I think, in their budget also. So they want to focus on that, and NDP wants to implement a super wealthy tax that applies on the 1% for above 20 million, increase the amount invested, investment profit subject to capital gains, back to 75%, which is 50% right now, and also make people making 210 and above, 210,000 above, they'll increase also their taxes for them. So that's kind of a way of they want to do it. Pretty much they want to tax the wealthy, get the money from the wealthy, and give it back to the bottom. That has been the platform NDP since the beginning. And finish off with trade. Conservative wants to implement a trade platform between inter-provinces because right now it's between provinces we also have conflicts. We cannot like take beer from Quebec, like Ontario, and bring it here, stuff like that. So it's a huge conflict because of that. So I want to kind of harmonize all those stuff. The liberals want to ratify the new NAFTA. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. That's not much good. Anyways, modernize the Canadian trade remedy system to make sure that trade unions have full understanding in trade cases and the ability to initiate dispute as its case in other countries. Improve transparency during trade negotiation. Will require use of Canadian steel and aluminum for infrastructure projects across Canada. So this is very good. I mean, this is good for the steel and aluminum business in Canada, and also this is very good to have kind of transparency in the negotiation, what's ongoing. Also good to know. So yeah, this is kind of if I recap all those critical points which I think are important for Canadians. I would say that this is the problem with like governments that are in power, right? Governments in power that are going back on election, they tend to not have as strong platform as the new parties. Like the conservative government has a strong party, strong arguments, as per just this is very good for whole Canadians as per just the negotiation, and inter provinces and introducing the 15% public transport because a lot of people use it public transport and it adds up for a family and or even for an individual. It becomes really interesting, and also NDP is really strong also in their platform. So I mean the outcome of this election could be very interesting. Like that's come back to my point. I said a lot of people have trouble with present government kind of have a stronger platform. Like present yourself more. Like even in the first debate, liberals Trudeau just decides not to come out. I think he's still running on his hype, which is good. But I think he should care a bit more than he's doing right now, because this election could pull him out, I would say. Conservative, for me, honestly, I think has the highest chance to win because they have strong support from the West. They're gaining over there, and they have it, so it's going to be hard for the Liberals to get there. So that's going to be interesting to see. I think Conservative has the highest chance to win, or it's going to be minority government again. I think those are one of the two probabilities I see outcoming. Liberals winning again a majority would be, as per my opinion, hard for them to get again this time around. But I think maybe the Conservative, with their platform, with their strong reach and their very concrete plan and objectives, will help them maybe get a majority, or hope maybe I would say a minority government with maybe liberals running it, or conservative, a minority government or maybe conservative. If I see a team winning majority, it would be mostly conservative, but a minority, I think it's for me, it's I see an outcome coming through that also. But yeah, it's interesting to see. So you know what, I just want to cover quickly on all those kind of topics, topics on platforms that could have impact on you guys and me also, all of us Canadians. So you know, drop a comment down below. Who do you think has a chance to win? What do you think would be the outcome? Very interesting for you guys to know from you guys. So I, like always, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, get unsubscribe, and thank you very much for watching, and have yourself a wonderful day. Whoosh!